of the devil at the bottom? Maybe, maybe not. Are you? No, you're not seeing him yet because he's hiding. Aren't you, Tober? Oh, there was one. Okay, anyway, folks, it's Eric Johnson. I'm back. Okay, here's the thing, folks. Here's what we're getting down to. I have made a decision. About the chase. I want everyone to sit down before they hear what I have to say about the chase, the Forrest Fenn treasure hunt. Because I've thought a lot about it, I've read a lot, and I've come to a conclusion that I'm very sure of. It's over! The chase is over. It's over. It's done. Forget about it. It's over, folks. I'm serious. Now, some of you are going, well, yeah, we know. No, you don't. No, some of you don't. Some of you are still hyping up your solves and all this stuff. And I have now divorced myself completely from the conspiracy theories about Jack Stuef. I mean, when I make the theories up, to me, they're never conspiratorial. But if they get to a point where the evidence points otherwise, and I'm still sticking to it, I would admit then that's conspiratorial. But I have read the evidence. I just got done in the last week reading the 6 questions by Jenny Kyle with Jack. And of course, I read some of the emails. I appreciate some people sent me some of the emails. And I know some people that have talked to Jack through emails. And I read the medium things. Remember when the first medium thing came out, I was like, this guy's got to be a professional writer. I said, I don't think it's the finder, but whoever it is really can write. Well, we now know that Jack Stuef, in fact, has been a professional writer, albeit for maybe comedy magazines or things. He wrote for BuzzFeed, and I'm not sure even what kind of magazine that is or webpage. But he is a professional writer. But after reading just generally the 6 questions with Jenny Kyle, which of course I'll put a link on, and I'll read some of what in the 6 questions really hit home with me, how incredibly smart this guy is in the 6 questions. Then I just said, this is the guy. Nobody's dreaming up this stuff. Shiloh and this guy Jack, as an actor or hired, they're not sitting around dreaming up what I'm reading. I'm reading a very smart man basically just saying how he solved, the treasure hunt without giving us the actual location. There are only a couple of things left now to keep track of with the treasure chase. One is someone finding the location and marrying it to the clues in the poem so that it makes sense. That would be a real accomplishment. Could get someone a good book that people would bother reading. Could get someone a documentary people watch. But bottom line is, who's going to confirm it? Fenn is dead, and I don't think Jack Stuef would. And Jack Stuef has also said, and the first time I read it, I thought, he's kind of trying to get out of having to give us the location and stuff, and he didn't want anybody to find location. Jack Stuef, here's the thing about Jack Stuef, aside from the fact that I think he's a very smart guy. You know the old saying, if you're lying, you have to keep track of your lies. It's hard to keep a story straight if you lie the first time because you're always having to remember what to say. I don't see any of that with Jack Stuef in the 6 questions or anything. He's always saying generally the same thing. And one of the things he says is that the blaze was broken, that it was a naturally occurring force of nature that broke the blaze. Now, without getting into my solve, another thing I watched, of course, was the unedited version of the tourism video. I think it's called Something Stories in New Mexico. It's done by the tourism agency. Jack had access to that. I'll leave a link to the unedited thing, interview with Forrest Fenn. Forrest Fenn brings up coming up upon a beaver dam. My particular saw, without even getting into it, in the Three Forks, Montana region, was heavily centered around an old beaver dam, which I never was able to actually find what would probably be now a mound in the ground, right? A long mound in the ground. But that's, I kind of wonder, is that the kind of blaze that existed? Not necessarily my idea of an old beaver dam, but something where water could break through, break it, split it in half. It's no longer distinguishable as a singular blaze, a single blaze. When Jack says that, I just think he sounds, I don't think he's making that up. I think he figured out where the blaze was, and as he says, without the chest there now to confirm that you are looking at a broken blaze, it would not be understandable as the blaze, even as a broken one, because you don't have the chest there any longer. When he found it and determined what the blaze was, albeit broken, he was able to see the chest and then go, yeah, I was right, that's the broken blaze. See what I'm saying? Folks, it's over. Jack Stuef found it. He's the man. That's all I got to say. Now, I got some notes and stuff, and then I'm going to tie up a few other things, but the bottom line is, it's time to move on to other things besides the chase, at least as far as I'm concerned, except a couple of things I'm going to keep my eye on. I'm going to keep my eye on anyone who's actually looking for the location, but I think it would be incredibly tough. I think Jack said in the 6 questions it would be nearly impossible. He may have even said, well, I don't know. Well, the bottom line is, to find it now that it's broken without the chest there to confirm that you found it, even though it's broken, which in itself is a feat, but then without the chest there to confirm you're right, I just don't think anyone's going to figure it out. And the other thing is the legal things going on, and quite frankly, Barb is subpoenaing, I hate that word to pronounce, subpoenaing information. Someone told me, they said, Eric, a subpoena is not like you go, handcuff the guy and take him against his will and put him in front of a judge and interrogate him. He said, you're just asking for information from, in this case, Barb wants some information from Dale in his webpage. I don't know if she'll get it, but I just think that's pretty much over. I mean, really. The treasure's been found. It's over. It was found in Wyoming. I don't even think now that Fenn and Stuef contrived to say I almost said Wisconsin, Wyoming, when it was really in Montana or Colorado. I pretty much think it was probably in Wyoming. I think they really got together and said, okay, let's just give them that tidbit, at least the state where it's from, because let's face it, no one's going to find it. I mean, if people want to go out and look for Jack Stuef's rental records, like rental cars and stuff, and he was using his name the whole time, which, I mean, if Jack was out there somehow renting cars and stuff without using his real name, boy, this guy really got into the 007 routine to go find it, but I don't think that would probably be true. So, but I mean, I don't even know how you do that, go out and find the rental records. I know that Fenn one time said he didn't want to get too close to the dates he actually did it because he was afraid people would go out there and look at rental car records and stuff and figure out, I guess, when he rented the car. So I could see people really trying to track down how Stuef looked for it, but once again, I know I've already said this, but once again, I really think when you take into account a broken blaze and no chest to verify that the blaze that you're looking at, which is now broken, I don't even think figuring out where he took a plane to is going to do any good. I really don't. Okay, so here's something from Donna Mackenzie Williams. It's over. The chase is over. Here's something from Donna Mackenzie Williams. She wanted to know about all this stuff. We should let searchers know as soon as you have it, Fenn said to Stuef. Why would Fenn say that? Out of the place, we need to let people know. People have died, Fenn said. There could be issues. We now know what all that was about. All of that mysterious back and forth with Stuef that I looked at and read and thought was mysterious about it. I'm going to get it, and when should I, is it okay to get it? And people said that, he asked for permission, and why would he ask for permission and all that? He's made it all very clear. Stuef just thought he should ask for permission. No more than that. Why? He said at one point he would just like most of us, that he was thinking he would just go in and get it. But the more he understood, and not ask for permission, but the more that he kind of understood it from all of the work he did and stuff, which the way he approached this was freaking brilliant. The way I know that it was brilliant was he did things I wouldn't have thought of. So I figured, well, that for me must be brilliant, right? I didn't think of these things. Smarter than me on how to find it, right? Really smart stuff we'll get into with the 6 questions, but this is what Stuef said. He said, the more I looked for it, the more I understood what Fenn did. The more I understood this was where he wanted to die. The more I kind of got into Fenn's head, I just felt I should ask permission. It was that simple. It was just a heartfelt, personal choice on his part. So what I've done is I have copied a chart made by a great vlogger named Smell the Sunshine. Smell the Sunshine, I saw a video of his a while ago. He doesn't make them very often, and he came out with one recently about Jack Stuef, and he did an excellent job. He does great videos. He doesn't make many of them. I want to say he's always made ones about Forrest Fenn. But this guy has video skills. You know, video editing requires you to go in and do some tedious work. And sometimes, of course, being computer work software, you can save what you've created. And so as you move on in the editing, your editing journey, you learn how to save things you create and stuff. But this guy has a lot of little things you don't really think about when you watch him. They're kind of cool thing with things that fade in and fade out, this and that. He does a lot of that kind of stuff that you could almost, but it gives it kind of a professional sheen that I don't have, but he has in his videos. And I think it's quite well done. And I think the way he presents his videos is very well done. So I'm going to use a chart. I'll put it up. I copied it just to read from. And it's going to explain the weekend where Jack, and by the way, I didn't even ask his permission. Some of you may say, well, that's not very cool. Here's the thing. I use fair use. A lot of the video people, YouTubers, are using the fair use policy, which essentially means, now I'm saying what it means. I don't even know what it means. I mean, it's kind of saying you're using your stuff for instructional purposes or just to get out your point of view and stuff. In my particular case, I'm not monetized. I'm not making any money on it, but it's my opinion all the time. And I'm using people's stuff just to kind of provide an insight into my ideas, right? And I do it with music videos, the audio and stuff, and I don't ask for their permission. So I didn't ask for Smell the Sunshine. By the way, I couldn't even figure out what his name was. He has another net name, Overthinker. I think it's OVRTHNKR, something like that. Overthinker. I couldn't even find his real name, which is fine. It doesn't matter. But I'm just letting you know I'm that Smell the Sunshine. I'm using his chart here. It's his entirely, and it's really well done. Okay, so let's get down to it. So Jack Stuef, this is what happened over the infamous weekend of June 5th, 6th, and 7th, right? And this kind of answers Donna's questions about what were they talking, this mysterious back and forth about finding it. Should we let people know? And it all sounded very mysterious and even kind of devious. This is what happened. On Friday, he found the chest. He took he calls it here the twig photo. It's the photo where the chest has the big ass twig in it. And it's funny to me because Jack's response, and at first I thought, oh, come on, Jack's trying to pull one over on us. He knows that twig's there and it means something. No, he just said, look, guys, I was out there, I'm taking photos, I've just found the treasure chest. And I didn't even notice the twig. It either fell off a tree or it got blown over on it. He said it was windy that day. So the twig is just part of the photo, and he didn't even think about it. I think he then said he threw it away, and if he had known how famous the twig was going to be, he would have kept it. So anyway, he finds the chest on Friday. he takes the twig photo. He calls it the twig photo. He emails Forrest to obtain permission. This is something he just decided on his own. He thought he should do. Forrest responded. They talked. On Saturday, we can assume that he had the permission. So on Saturday, the 6th of June, Jack carefully and methodically retrieved the chest. He called Forrest not long after he had it in his car. He traveled and spent a night traveling down to Santa's Fe. Santa's Fe. Down to Santa's sleigh. Down to Santa Fe. On Saturday, he met with Forrest. And we can assume this is when the photos in the lawyer's office were taken. So, not mysterious at all. Jack just had his own way of doing things with Forrest, and part of it was asking for permission. And it was just his own personal decision. And he and Forrest communicated on that weekend before the treasure chest was actually removed. Would I have done that? Would most of us have done that? Asked permission and left it out there for a night? Maybe not, but I think Jack, and he's probably said it as much, I think he kind of surprised himself, I think, and he did something quite intelligent in being able to find this blaze that he finally figured out was actually marred, broken by a natural event. And I don't think he really had any thoughts, this is just my opinion, that anybody was going to go get it before he went back. So he apparently had no qualms about leaving it out there overnight, and then he went back and got it the next day on Saturday when he had Forrest Fenn's permission. So to answer Donna's questions, which she by now probably already knows this because I've just been getting information. I did make a video series about this, and then the 6 questions came out. So it happens so often with me, I'll make a series and then have to do another one because of information that comes out. Maybe that's just me being lazy or procrastinating not to get stuff out. But I think this time I will get the series out. Just a really well done chart by Smell the Sunshine. And then we're going to get some more notes coming up here in part 2. Hang in there. It's over.